In the gentle light of a Roman afternoon on January 18th, 2026, the world of acoustic jazz and chamber improvisation lost one of its most poetic and quietly revolutionary voices when Ralph Towner passed away at the age of 85. He died peacefully in Rome, the city that had been his home since the early 1990s, surrounded by family and loved ones. His daughter, Celeste, confirmed the news, though no specific cause was immediately shared. Only the sense of a long, rich life reaching its natural close after decades of profound creativity. There was no crash, no sudden drama, just the soft fading of a man whose music had always felt like a conversation between the soul and the strings. As ECM Records, his artistic home for over 50 years, and collaborators around the globe mourned the loss of a true original, let's take a moment to walk gently through Ralph Towner's extraordinary life. From a musical childhood in the Pacific Northwest to the creation of some of the most introspective and boundaryless sounds in modern jazz, honoring the wife who shared his later years, the family that grounded him, the contemplative lifestyle he embraced in Italy, and the quiet legacy that continues to resonate like a sustained chord. Ralph Towner was born on March 1st, 1940, in Chehalis, Washington, into a deeply musical family that would shape the course of his entire life. His mother was a piano teacher, his father a trumpet player, and music filled the home from the earliest days. By age 3, Ralph was already improvising at the piano, mimicking Fats Domino and Little Richard with a child's instinctive joy. Trumpet followed at 5, and the family moved to Bend, Oregon, where he continued to absorb everything from classical to jazz to popular music. The Pacific Northwest's vast forests and open skies seemed to echo in his later work. The sense of space, of reflection, of nature breathing alongside the notes. After high school, he studied classical composition at the University of Oregon, graduating in 1963, then traveled to Vienna to study classical guitar, an instrument that would become his primary voice and lifelong companion. In the late 1960s, Ralph moved to New York City, immersing himself in the vibrant jazz scene. He joined the Winter Consort in 1968, contributing to groundbreaking albums that blended jazz, classical, and world music influences. There he met Collin Walcott, McCandless, and Glen Moore, musicians who would become his lifelong collaborators in the group Oregon, formed in 1970. Oregon quickly became one of the most innovative chamber jazz ensembles in history, fusing acoustic improvisation with global textures, classical forms, and folk traditions. Ralph's 12-string guitar, classical guitar, piano, and compositions became the heart of the group's sound. Albums like Music from Another Present Era, Together, Friends, and Crossings remain landmarks of creative daring and emotional depth. Even after the tragic 1984 bus accident in East Germany that claimed Collin Walcott's life, Oregon endured, with Ralph's writing and playing providing continuity and renewal. Alongside Oregon, Ralph built a rich and influential solo career, primarily on ECM Records, starting with Diary in 1974. Albums like Solstice, with Jan Garbarek, Eberhard Weber, and John Christensen, My Foolish Heart, a tribute to Bill Evans, Chiaroscuro, with Paolo Frisu, and At First Light, released in 2023, showcase his mastery of the 12-string guitar, his harmonic language that bridges jazz, classical, and world traditions, and his gift for creating music that feels both intimate and vast. He recorded with an extraordinary range of collaborators: Gary Burton, Keith Jarrett, Egberto Gismondi, John Abercrombie, Larry Coryell, and many others, always bringing a sense of space, lyricism, and emotional clarity to every session. In his personal life, Ralph found deep companionship with his wife Mariella Lo Sardi, an Italian actress whom he met in the 1990s after relocating to Italy. They married and made their home first in Palermo, then in Rome, where Ralph lived for the last 3 decades of his life. Their partnership was one of mutual creative respect and quiet support. Mariella often accompanied him on tours, and their home became a sanctuary of music, art, and reflection. Ralph had children from an earlier relationship, including his daughter Celeste, who confirmed his passing and spoke of his loving presence even in his final years. Family remained central. His siblings, his children, and his extended Italian circle provided the warmth and continuity that balanced the demands of a life in music. Ralph's lifestyle in Italy was one of deliberate simplicity and creative immersion. He lived in a spacious apartment in Rome's historic center, filled with instruments, classical guitars, 12-string, piano, and books. He composed in a dedicated studio adjoining the home, often working in natural light with views of the city. He enjoyed long walks, good coffee, Italian cuisine, and the company of friends like Paolo Frisu, Enrico Rava, and other musicians who shared his love for acoustic improvisation. He avoided excess, preferring meaningful work, deep listening, and the peace of family life over the noise of fame. His career success brought a comfortable net worth, estimated in the low millions, earned through ECM royalties, solo and ensemble recordings, commissions, teaching, and occasional performances. It allowed him to live with freedom and generosity, supporting family and causes he cared about without ever losing his humility. The news of Ralph's passing has left a profound silence in the jazz and contemporary music communities. ECM called him one of the greatest of men. Wyclef Jean and others remembered his genius, and fans worldwide shared how his music, whether with organ or alone, have been a companion through life's quiet and turbulent moments. At 85, after a life of innovation, beauty, and grace, his departure feels like the final note of a long, resonant chord. As we say goodbye to Ralph Towner, a husband, father, brother, guitarist, composer, and gentle revolutionary whose music bridged worlds and touched souls, we're reminded to listen more deeply, to create with heart, and to live with the same quiet courage he carried. Thank you, Ralph, for the spaces you opened, the strings you touched, and the silence you made sing. Rest in peace. If this tribute to Ralph Towner's luminous life, timeless music, and peaceful passing touched your heart or brought back memories of his unforgettable sound, please like the video and subscribe for more heartfelt stories honoring the artists who shape our inner worlds. Your support keeps these legacies alive. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.